All right. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
All right, Mike.
You got it. Keyshawn, J. Will, Zubin, presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is changing the way you buy home insurance. Now you can go online, get a custom quote, and save both time and money. Learn more at Progressive.com. Mike mentioned the NBA, and that's where we're going to start as we go from A to Z.
From New York to L.A. and everywhere in between. From A to Z.
And from A to Z is brought to you by Merrill Guided Investing. Visit merrilledge.com/investing goals. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner, and Smith Incorporated, both a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, member SIPC. All the oxygen in the NBA this weekend was taken up by the debut of James Harden, which couldn't have gone any better. A little triple-double action for him in his first foray in Brooklyn. There's another guy that had a triple-double over the weekend, Luka Doncic, 36, 16, and 15. Let me just say that again. 36, 16, and 15, though it came in a loss. And this is when you know you've got yourself a superstar. After that stat line, Doncic, not happy.
That's on me. The second half, I played terrible. And I think that's on me that game. I shouldn't, I would say I was being selfish a little bit because, I had 30 points in the first half. And that wasn't me in the second half. I got to do way better than that. And that's just on me. I shouldn't be doing this.
Jay, I love that.
No, look, the real issue for this team is the health of Kristaps Porzingis, will he be the player that everybody expected him to be, that all-star caliber player? And Luka Doncic is going to have these type of performances. He's single-handedly going to have to take his team and drag them into the playoffs. But for them to go to another level, I think also for Doncic to actually have a chance to win MVP, he's going to need help from Porzingis in a massive way.
Indeed. Doncic with his 29th career triple-double last night. Back to the NFL, the Rams, Sean McVay.
Let's keep it moving here. I want to get back to the other major story of the day. We continue to react to the blockbuster trade sending James Harden to the Brooklyn Nets to team up with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. We now welcome former NBA champion Kendrick Perkins to the show. Stephen A., you're up here first, though. Hey, Perk. Good to see you. Is Harden under the most pressure of any player this season?
No, I don't think he's under the most pressure. For me, it would be Kawhi Leonard. And the reason I feel that way, and I haven't jumped off that bandwagon, I've been consistent, and I know I'm standing alone. But Kawhi Leonard is the one that came to Los Angeles with the NBA title from Toronto and the NBA Finals MVP. That was fine. But the dude with the commercials and talking about LA is his town now, with the king dangling from the crown dangling from his mirror and all of that stuff, basically putting LeBron on notice. It's a new day, and here I come. And then you have a 3-1 lead to the Denver Nuggets, and you disappear in a Game 7. You let them come back from a 3-1 deficit. He wasn't the only one. We know Paul George was too. I got that. But it's Kawhi Leonard that was that two-time champion. It's Kawhi Leonard that was that star. It was Kawhi Leonard that basically told the Clippers, you want any shot at me, you got to go and mortgage the farm to get me Paul George. Otherwise, I'm going to stay in this town and play for the other team, which is the Los Angeles Lakers, with LeBron and AD, which will ensure you'll never win again. So all of those things that happen, that's Kawhi Leonard. Excuse me, it's time to pay up. You showed up. You put those demands. They answered the bell. Now you got to answer the bell. This dude, by Max Kellerman, was considered the best player in the world. Number one. That's what Max was saying. Max was talking all of that, Kendrick. He said Kawhi is that dude. He's the. I know the whoops and the oops ultimately came thereafter, but damn it, that was after a year saying he was the best in the world. And listen, you can say what you want about Harden. He's been on the radar. KD's back. He's on the radar. Kyrie's on the radar. We get all of that. Why does Kawhi Leonard get to fly under the radar? He is a superstar. He is one of the top 5 players in the world. I want to see him show up. And I desperately want to see him go against LeBron head up, straight up in the conference finals. That's my dream scenario personally.
All right. Before I get to Kendrick Perkins, who tweeted some outrageous, blasphemous nonsense last night, let me deal with you first, Stephen A. That take would be correct if the Clippers just traded for James Harden. The Clippers didn't just trade for James Harden. The Clippers got Kawhi Leonard, who never had to chase rings, one in San Antonio, got traded to Toronto, one in Toronto, didn't do so well last year. I give it up. I tell it like I see it. But the bottom line is he insisted on Paul George. He got him. Paul George choked in the playoffs, as usual. They didn't just add an MVP to that mix. Who added the MVP? The Brooklyn Nets. James Harden is going to a team with KD and Kyrie. And everyone's focusing on, is there more pressure on Harden or Kyrie? And that's a trick question, because the answer is there's the most pressure on KD. KD went ring chasing in Golden State, and he chased it down. He joined a 73-win team. There's no way they could lose. But then he did something very bold and brave. He went out and said, I'm going to see if I can win it in Brooklyn, a team that's never really come close. Just me and Kyrie Irving. Let's see what we can do. Now they added James Harden. Now, KD, Harden, and Kyrie. I'm not saying KD's got to win the whole thing this year. They're not favored to do that, but you got to get to the finals. Because KD, as a physical package and the skills that he's built up, as Kendrick Perkins will tell you, KD, compare him to anyone who's ever lived. He's almost 7 feet tall. Compare him to Magic, Bird, Michael, Kobe, LeBron, physically in terms of his skills, his shooting. And by the way, nowadays, even his passing has gotten so much better. He became a great defender. KD is taking a back seat in those departments to no one, ever. He should be the best ever, right? But he's not. You know what KD hasn't shown he can do yet? Lead a group of guys to a championship who's not necessarily supposed to win, who just has a fighting chance. Didn't do it in OKC. Warriors, come on. He added a dude to a team that's already won a championship and won 73 games, an MVP. Of course they're going to win. No, this is something new. Why isn't there's Bird, there's Magic, I said Kobe, obviously, Jordan, LeBron, right? Those guys all did that as the alphas on teams, on various different kinds that led them to the championship. KD's got to do that now. He ain't even got to win this year. He's got to get there this year. The most pressure is on KD.
You know what? I can't believe you, Max. I can't believe you. Well, I can believe you. But Stephen A., I can't believe you. All right? To come on here and both of you guys talk about two guys that are already champions, two guys that are already got two finals MVPs, and go sit up here and tell me that both of them are under the most pressure this year. No, James Harden is. First of all, Max, you not checking nothing, all right? Let's get that straight real quick. You not checking nothing. I ain't come on here for you to be talking about you go check me. You ain't checking nothing. James Harden is under the most pressure this year. He threw a hissy fit to get out of Houston, threw his teammates under the bus. I want out. I want this. I don't want to play here. And just didn't give Steve Silas a chance. And all this and that got his way. Now, you got your way. You done teamed up with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. You have zero excuses. You're the only one on this team without a ring. This is the reason that you wanted to leave Houston, right? Was to go get a championship. So the pressure is on you. You left a Houston organization that you built up for over the last 9 to 10 years in great fashion. Made them relevant again since the Elijah One days, in my opinion. And then you left what you built up, left a lot of money on the table. Matter of fact, a 2-year, 100.
And so what would irritate or insult you more? James Harden not winning the title or someone being disrespectful to LeBron James?
What you mean?
In other words, somebody coming to LeBron James, I'm coming to take what you got. It's a new day. It's a new era. Your time has passed. My time is here. We're forgetting how Kawhi arrived in L.A., how he elected to paint himself upon arriving in L.A. I'm not negating your point about James Harden being under immense pressure. I get that. But we also got to look at the fact that, again, you're looking at Kyrie being there. You're hoping they'll get their stuff together. It's not even his team in Brooklyn. We know it's KD's team. Kawhi is the Clippers. Everything they've done is for Kawhi Leonard. Everything. And I'm just saying, here's the only point that I'll leave you with, Kendrick, and then I'll shut up. I want you to remember that when you say what you just said, while it has very valid points, you, and to a lesser degree, Max, essentially is letting Kawhi Leonard off the hook. Okay, LeBron and AD are going to end up in the finals. We ain't even really thinking about Kawhi Leonard. We don't expect them to win. The Lakers are the prohibitive favorites. Where's the accountability for Kawhi Leonard when it comes to delivering the goods in L.A.?
No, Stephen A.